Is there anybody out there? Once upon a time, this haunting question echoed through stadiums filled with fans of one of rock's most iconic bands. Pink Floyd's music has been a cornerstone of rock history for decades, mesmerizing audiences with their visionary sound and thought-provoking lyrics. But like all good things, even their journey had to end. In this video, we'll delve into the band's storied past, exploring the events that led to the breakup, and we'll address the question that's been on fans' minds: will Pink Floyd ever reunite? Pink Floyd's breakup.
So for that whole week, I was getting tenser and tenser and paying less and less attention to the band as I raved and ranted around the building, screaming at people. And so by the time we actually got out on the road, we were pretty fragmented, and we had no idea whether anything was going to work.
The fracturing of Pink Floyd in 1985 marked the end of an era for one of rock's most influential bands. The group, known for their one-of-a-kind trance-inducing sound and groundbreaking conceptual albums, had already weathered the departure of original frontman Syd Barrett in 1968. But creative tensions between Roger Waters and David Gilmour ultimately proved insurmountable. Waters, the primary lyricist and conceptual force behind albums like The Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall, left the band amid personal and creative differences. It was not just a simple parting of ways, but the beginning of a long and bitter legal battle over the use of the Pink Floyd name and legacy. The legal wrangling that ensued highlighted the deep divide between Waters and his former bandmates. Waters believed that without his creative input, Pink Floyd as an entity should cease to exist. But Gilmour and drummer Nick Mason were determined to continue under the Pink Floyd banner. This dispute not only affected the band members, but also left fans wondering about the future of the music they loved. Waters, in his pursuit to dissolve the band, referred to Pink Floyd as a spent force creatively in his high court submission. This statement underscored his belief that the band's artistic peak had passed, and continuing without him would be a disservice to their legacy. The post-Waters era.
The last time that we made a record, we didn't tour because it was a pretty awful period of time for all of us. But we made a record, we thought, touring, yes, sounds like fun.
Despite Waters' departure, Pink Floyd continued to achieve commercial success. Under Gilmour's leadership, the band released several albums, including A Momentary Lapse of Reason and The Division Bell. These releases demonstrated there was still a lingering appetite for their music, even without Waters' involvement. But the absence of his lyrical and conceptual contributions was quite noticeable to many longtime fans. The post-Waters albums, while still successful, lacked the thematic depth and social commentary that had become a hallmark of Pink Floyd's most celebrated work. Gilmour's leadership took the band in a different direction, focusing more on atmospheric soundscapes and guitar-driven compositions. The period also saw a shift in the band's live performances. The elaborate theatrical elements that had characterized Waters-era shows were scaled back, replaced by a greater emphasis on musical virtuosity and visual effects. The enduring feud.
David thinks he owns it. I think he thinks that because I left the band in 1985, that he owns Pink Floyd, that he is Pink Floyd, had nothing that really, I'm irrelevant, and I should just keep my mouth shut.
The rift between Waters and Gilmour has become one of rock music's most infamous and enduring feuds. Over the years, both musicians have publicly criticized each other's contributions to Pink Floyd and their respective solo careers. This animosity has only intensified with time, with recent clashes on social media over political issues such as the Russia-Ukraine war and Israel's war with Hamas. The ongoing conflict between these two creative forces has been a source of fixation and frustration for fans. Many have hoped for a reconciliation, dreaming of a day when the surviving members of Pink Floyd might once again share a stage. But as the years have passed, this prospect seems increasingly unlikely. The feud has often played out in the public eye, with both Waters and Gilmour using interviews and social media to express their grievances. Waters has been particularly vocal about his role in Pink Floyd's success, often emphasizing his songwriting contributions and conceptual vision. Gilmour, on the other hand, has defended the band's post-Waters work and his own musical legacy. The Live 8 reunion.
I think Dave was a bit surprised when the phone rang, and it was me. Anyway, we sort of, chatted for a few minutes, and he said, well, I'll think about it. And he called me back about 24 hours later and said, all right, I'll do it. So here we are.
In 2005, fans were given a glimmer of hope when Waters, Gilmour, Mason, and keyboardist Richard Wright reunited for a performance at the Live 8 charity concert in London. This rare reunion was a powerful reminder of the magic that could occur when these musicians came together. Reflecting on this event, Waters told Reuters, quote, "We did it, and I don't regret it because Rick was still alive, and I'm so glad we had the opportunity to at least do 3 or 4 numbers. We played reasonably well, and the people liked it, and so I'm really, really glad." It was a significant moment, not just for Pink Floyd fans, but for the music world at large. It represented a temporary setting aside of differences for a greater cause, and showcased the enduring power of the band's classic lineup. The set, though brief, included some of Pink Floyd's most beloved songs. But it didn't lead to a more permanent reconciliation. Wright passed away in 2008, making any future complete reunion of the classic lineup impossible. Waters' current stance.
No, whatever for?
Why not?
Well, why? I tell you why. I tell you why not. This is just, it's a nostalgic, I don't know, something or other, need. It may be you even, but it's not in me. I loved my time in Pink Floyd. Anyway, I'm busy doing other things.
In his recent interview with Reuters, Waters firmly dismissed the idea of any future Pink Floyd reunions. When asked if the surviving members might ever perform together again, he responded with a blunt, "No, whatever for." Waters elaborated on his stance, saying, "I'm busy doing other things. It has nothing to do with any rancor or anything. People are different. David and I are very, very different people, and that's okay." The statement underscores the fundamental differences that have long existed between Waters and Gilmour. While fans may yearn for a reunion, Waters sees it as unnecessary nostalgia that doesn't align with his current creative pursuits. The future of Pink Floyd.
I don't think either one of us wants to go back. I can see how attractive an idea it is for people who've enjoyed all that music, but I don't think that would happen again.
With a reunion seeming increasingly unlikely, the question of Pink Floyd's legacy comes to the forefront. Both Waters and Gilmour continue to perform Pink Floyd material in their solo shows, each offering their own interpretation of the band's classic songs. Waters has been particularly active in recent years, embarking on ambitious tours that showcase Pink Floyd's most celebrated works. His performances of The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon have been both critically acclaimed and commercially successful. These tours have allowed Waters to present his vision of Pink Floyd's music in its purest form. Meanwhile, Gilmour has also continued to play Pink Floyd material, often collaborating with Mason on various projects. The release of The Endless River in 2014, featuring unreleased material from the Division Bell sessions, was seen by many as a fitting coda to Pink Floyd's studio career. Gilmour's approach to performing Pink Floyd material tends to be less politically charged than Waters', focusing more on the musical aspects of the band's legacy. Waters' current projects.
My new album's called The Bar, and it's based around the thread that runs through it is this very long song I wrote during COVID, and I did a couple of tiny bits of it during the show. This is not a drill that I've done.
At 80 years old, Roger Waters shows no signs of slowing down. He revealed to Reuters that he's currently working on a new solo album called The Bar. This project suggests Waters continues to be creatively active and is still producing new material that may resonate with his fan base. The announcement of a new album is significant as it demonstrates Waters' ongoing commitment to creating new music rather than simply relying on his past achievements. While details about The Bar are scarce, it's likely the album will continue his tradition of combining musical innovation with pointed social and political commentary. He's also in the process of writing a memoir. He stated, quote, "I've been working on it for a couple of years, and I'm in sort of an editing process with that now, so I'm a busy chap." The memoir is likely to be a highly anticipated release, given Waters' central role in Pink Floyd's history and his reputation for uncompromising honesty. It may provide new insights into the band's creative process, the tensions that led to the breakup, and Waters' own artistic evolution over the years. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think about Roger Waters' stance on Pink Floyd reunions? Let us know in the comments section below.